So I'm Tram Enyeart, and that's Chen Law, and we both worked on the Hyde Plaza TOD, developed two different site plans. The impetus behind mine was kind of a secondary with regards to the parking and the amount of traffic that pedestrians sort of have to circumnavigate to get to where they're going, so I wanted to mitigate that. And by allowing for more pedestrian-friendly zones, we can place an emphasis on not having to use an automobile to experience the various amenities provided. So not only having a safer environment while you're there, but creating an environment that you want to go to and ostensibly walk to if you live in the immediate surroundings. Secondly, to create a conduit between Oakley Park and the Wasson bike trail towards the south of the development. This allows for visitors and residents alike to more comprehensively take advantage of two outstanding recreational opportunities. So really there's a tertiary setup. There's the Plaza that is in between Oakley Park and the proposed bike trail. I would love for that to be sort of one comprehensive site that you could visit. You could go to the park, have a picnic, shop, and then later go down to the bike trail. So sort of connecting those three entities. So here's my site plan. The white buildings are the proposed buildings, and the orange ones are existing. And I'll show how it's phased out later. But the main design focus is to create this median pedestrian area that bisects the entire development, that again connects Oakley Park to the Wasson bike trail. And along the way, as you walk there, to have residential experience or commercial experiences, being able to shop all throughout that corridor. So the first building is a recreational center. I wanted it to be a community center, but my real estate people, in order to pay for the situation, kind of wanted like an LA Fitness, a private entity, but it could really be either. But I wanted it more towards the park area. I felt that those were apropos entities to be next to each other. The second building that is directly south is office space, 2 floors. 3 is retail, again lining the pedestrian area.
Can you use a pointer?
Oh yeah. You'll okay. Retail area to line that pedestrian corridor. 4 is a new grocery space, given that the Kroger is moving out. It's a smaller scale grocery than the bigs. My residential students advised me maybe to have this as be more niche market that could provide a different clientele than the bigs, and so as to not have a redundant commercial entity. And the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th buildings are residential units that are in the corner area of the plaza. I'll speak to how many floors and square footage they are later. And 9 is again retail. So I wanted these retail units and grocery to line the pedestrian area so that when walking from A to B, you can have that shopping and eating experience. And along the corner here of the residential buildings, the first floor is also shopping, mostly eating, so as to take advantage of this A, pocket park, and B, plaza area that is created along this area. There's a roundabout that you can diagonally park to access these areas, as well as drop people off to the plaza area. And again, and this is the hub that the pedestrian trail leads to, eventually lining along the bike path. And the corner unit of this retail is meant to be a bike shop that ostensibly you could park your bike or rent bikes as well, then access this the bike trail itself. And again, this is Wasson Way and this is Paxson. So again, my main idea was to connect these two entities, but also allow for the neighboring areas, Oakley, to also have access via through this pocket park or this plaza area, so that they can walk more easily to this entity and take advantage of what's there. Parking is in gray, and the only parking structures are underneath the residential, 2 stories below, and as well as the grocery. It provides enough parking, but there is an idea of not overly allowing parking so as to provide impetus for people to want to walk there, and thus create the TOD development. These are the quantities involved. The residential units that are on the corner are 183,000 square feet, 4 floors. There are 5 floors total, the first of which is the residential or commercial in eating and entertainment. The top 4 floors are residential. Commercial space, 215,881. all one floor, 883 parking spaces provided. The office building is around 30,000 feet, 2 floors, or 3 floors, 4 floors. And the grocery building is 89,000 square feet. The rec center towards the north of the development is 35,319, and it's 2 stories. I just wanted to first talk about the phasing. Originally, this was about the most feasible one, kind of just separating the existing buildings and creating that trail. This was obviously the cheapest option, and only creating a new rec center, only one new building involved. But again, the first idea was to, again, have this pedestrian-friendly walkway connecting these two entities and only disrupting a little bit of the existing structures and keeping everything else. The second portion was just going along the lines, getting rid of the bank, the gas station, and implementing this pocket park, and adding 2 more buildings, the retail units and the office. And then finally, the final plan, as I showed you, was facilitating this area more, adding the residential mixed-use buildings, the grocery store, and the roundabout that allows for you to access this plaza area. It's just some examples of what I wanted this to kind of look like. This could be the pocket park entering in the corner area of the plaza, again, very pedestrian friendly. And not only that, allows a visual cue, a sort of landmark for knowing that this is Hyde Park Plaza and you know where you are and you know where you're trying to go. This is what I wanted the corner units to look like. They sort of match the style of the Drexel that exists to the west of the plaza, so I wanted it to be on the same scale as far as stories, 4 stories, and design. And then we have the eating and shopping on the ground level that can lead to, again, the pedestrian walkway that would be behind this, or the plaza area that surrounds it. And thirdly, the pedestrian walkway, again, solely pedestrian, no. There's only 2 instances where you have to interact with cars crossing, and just have shops facing you as you walk towards the bike trail or towards Oakley. It would only be one side facing you. This would be the side of Richards Industries and the existing buildings, but in my site plan, I have that buffer with both trees and a bike trail that would sort of create a buffer zone between the pedestrian walkway and the existing buildings towards the east of the development. Finally, the rendering of the area. This is the pocket park, the residential, the mixed-use buildings on the corner with the plaza surrounding it, the new grocery, office space, rec center, and then retail lining the pedestrian area here. These are the existing buildings and parking space. And again, the pedestrian walkway connecting Oakley to the new bike trail and the transit line. About it. Again, this would be Wasson, and this is Capstone. Questions?